God. Oh my God. Can you see above me, people? We're still going. We're still going strong with the subscription. Thank you very much for doing that for us. We're gonna keep going in it. The saga with Caicedo and Lavia is still going, and there's a lot to discuss on this transfer show. So let me bring in obviously the regular, my partner in crime, Harley. What's going on, bro?
How are we? How are we?
Good, bro. Oh,
All good?
good. Yeah, bro.
Glad to hear.
Lots to discuss in it still, man. Nothing like has come through. Another day. Like this is the third day now, isn't it? So yeah, we have to see what's going to happen. Let me bring in another guest who's a regular here as well, Mr. Baz. Let's bring him in. What's going on, bro? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Still, what's going on? Big up everyone on the panel and big up the chat, man. Make sure you're smashing the like and doing all that great stuff, man. And let's go.
Things we absolutely love to see.
Yeah, how's everything, Baz? What do you think of this saga at the moment, bro? Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
Mate, you know something. It is one of those mad ones, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
you go and smash a world record, a transfer bid, transfer record, British record, and the guy doesn't want to come. It's a mad one. It's a mad one. But I have my theories.
Yeah. Have you still got hope though? Like, can we bring this kid in?
Nah. To be honest with you, I don't really have the hope. Even if he does come to Liverpool, I'd be really questioning this guy because, I think his motives are clear.
Yeah.
So, I want people wanting to play for this club.
Not like we're desperate, like in a desperate way, like trying to get someone, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right, bro. He's. I don't know if it's him though, guys. I don't think it's him that's like saying all these things. I think it's his agent, from what I've heard as well. So let's look into it that way as well, instead of like like every player has other people around him, an entourage around him that's making him make decisions, the right decisions and sometimes the wrong decisions. So that's why I'm not blaming him just yet. There's a lot of stories going around, like he might still want to come to Liverpool. So let's just be calm and just have faith, because Liverpool normally they get out of this transfer, if you know what I mean. I think Chelsea in this transfer, guys, I honestly think Chelsea in the beginning when Liverpool came with that bid, because they can't outbid that. Liverpool, when they go for transfers, they always study it, don't they? They don't really go into the blind in a blind alley. There's always, how does Chelsea, how are they trying to get this player? Can we get something on Chelsea for us to get this player? And Liverpool put like 100 million 11 on there, and Chelsea can't go above that, from what I've heard. That's why the actual transfer of Caicedo hasn't gone through with Chelsea. A lot of people are saying that Chelsea's going to bid, what was it, 150 million. I don't know if that can happen, but a lot of people are saying the other way as well. There's an issue happening with Chelsea. They are negotiating with Brighton. They're trying to give them players and probably sell them players at the same time to reduce the price of Caicedo to in a way that they could actually negotiate. That's why they kept on bidding like around 90 million. So have you heard anything, man?
Well, the most we've seen all morning was it's Melissa Reddy saying that again Chelsea are going to struggle to put the money up. Yeah. And she's being consistently reliable, not only throughout this saga, but throughout the summer as well. She's had an incredible summer. Yeah. She's probably the leading journalist at Sky. Yeah, often contradicts what you will see on things such as Sky Sports. So it can be very confusing what to believe when it comes to things like that. But for me, and this is purely my opinion, but the longer this saga goes on, it's been over 24 hours since a bid has come in. When it was meant to. It's been over 24 hours and since the deadline. So you're thinking at this point, in fact, never mind over 24, we're probably pushing about 36 now. You're thinking the longer it takes, and by the hour, it's slightly more likely and slightly more likely and slightly more likely that Chelsea aren't going to get him. And if Chelsea don't get him, then he's coming to Liverpool, surely.
Yeah, 100%.
The main obstacle in this, I said this yesterday and I'll say it again today, the main obstacle in this is that his agent's a cockwomble, basically.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100% from what I've been hearing. He's chasing. from what I've been hearing, he's chasing the money in it. That's what he's doing. You know, it's not for the
Yeah.
players' development. You know, like with Chelsea, if you could go for the list like Salah, De Bruyne, Shevchenko, Crespo, there's so many names down the years that's just failed at Chelsea because
Fernando Torres was another one of ours.
Fernando Torres, 50 million they bought him for. It wasn't the same player at Liverpool. So if you want to develop as a player, you don't go to the likes of Chelsea. If you want to chase money for the short term, because their managers don't last. You know what I mean? Their staff members don't last. There's always new ideas every other season because a new manager comes in. That's not the place to go. So I think a lot of people are going around to Caicedo, especially probably McAllister, Lallana. Players who are close to him. They're saying to him, bro, don't choose Chelsea. If you want to develop as a player, if you want to become a world-class player, you don't go to the likes of Chelsea. So Baz, what do you think of this, bro?
Yeah, no, you're right, absolutely. But I also heard a little rumor beforehand. This is way before Liverpool had linked in with him. Obviously, he turned down Arsenal last year, I believe it was. But at the same time, this guy's ambition is to play for Real Madrid.
Yes, sir.
Real Madrid, that's it. You know what I mean? And I do like the player. Don't get me wrong. I think this guy, if he came to Liverpool, he'd be brilliant for Liverpool. It's definitely what we need, and I really want him there.
Yes,
but at the same time, like you said, they do have entourages. They do have like agents and stuff like that. You don't know the circumstances of his agent, if it's family member, or if it's someone that's nearest and dearest to him, or whatever. I just believe that this guy doesn't want to play for Liverpool. I really don't. I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, if you look at Chelsea and Liverpool in terms of what we've got and what they've got, we've got history, we've got all this stuff going for us, as opposed to Chelsea, and we're also in Europe as well. Maybe not Champions League, but only for a year, hopefully. Chelsea got nothing to play for except trying to better their team and win that league. So you'd think he'd want to come to Liverpool, but sometimes you just have one of those players that just doesn't want to go. He wants to play for. He may want to stay like closer to London. He may want to just earn a bit more money than what Liverpool would offer him in terms of wages. I don't know. I really don't know. But one thing we do have that you said is that a lot of ex-Liverpool players play at Brighton. So there is that talk that the people like Lallana and stuff like that, even like James Milner now could be saying, "Yo, go to this club. This club is the one." But I guess we'll have to see closer to the time, really. I mean, if he does sign for Liverpool, brilliant. If he doesn't, then I'm not too stressed about it. The only thing I'm worried about is will Liverpool actually pay a good fee for another player? Because clearly Liverpool don't just put bids in, like you said, for players. They have to really study and think, is this what we need? And I think they know this is what we need. But if we can't get him, I hope we do go and spend that money on a player that wants to come to Liverpool and as great quality. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only thing I'm worried about all of this. If Caicedo does come, then obviously, he's going to play well, because if he does have ambitions to go and play somewhere else, which I don't like that idea, come and use Liverpool as a stepping stone to go somewhere else. But, if he does come, then, it'd be great for Liverpool. But we'll have to wait and see, innit?
Yeah, 100%, brother. With this transfer, the thing I'm optimistic about, Liverpool's still in it, and there must be something going on between the player and Liverpool, guys. There's no way Liverpool are normally, in normal circumstances, Liverpool pull away from transfers like this. This is what I know. We've seen it in the past as well. There's a list of names we could mention if we want to. So from David, obviously David OC Cop says, Sky Sports report here don't agree. Caicedo prefers Chelsea as they have discussed a move longer. As it goes along, people are saying, he's been in the last 4 months negotiating with Chelsea that he's gonna join them and etc. But I don't know, if that's the reason for him to be preferring Chelsea, if people as they're saying. But I think the player, in his mind, he was thinking over where to go next, and he's been sleeping on it. And we might hear something today, people. So please, there's 118 of you actually on watching this live stream. Please hit that like button. We need the like buttons to trend around YouTube as well. And if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you, man? Let's do this.
Come on, man.
We're already over 1,000, so let's get it to 2,000 if you know what I mean.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
The
bro.
growth's
So
been rapid. The growth's been
yeah,
absolutely rapid the last couple of
it's
days.
crazy, bro. It's crazy. Thank you. It's still going. Look, you can see like 134 people. He said, Dave says he has not rejected Liverpool, as we all said like before. Obviously, we discussed it. Sky say wants to give Chelsea time because Chelsea have to get a transfer together, as we know. We already said it in the beginning. They can't go over the 111 million obviously offer Liverpool gave already. So they're trying to find a way to get the player some way somehow. But the thing is, Harley, don't you think it's disrespectful towards Liverpool that Brighton haven't put a stop to this and told the player, you know what, mate? We're either going to take the transfer right now and you go to Liverpool, or you're going to stay here for the remainder of the season. You know what I mean? Because I think Liverpool, if they don't get this transfer like over the line, guys, I think it's disrespectful in a way. And not only that, Liverpool should get money back from Brighton for wasting their time as well. Because we could have got Lavia. We could have got someone else if we didn't have hope in getting Caicedo, because Brighton must have agreed before, we made the decision, you can't get him for this much, if you know what I mean, House.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but also I understand why Brighton will do what they're doing, because ultimately their goal from the start is to get as much money as physically possible for what you call it, for the player.
Yeah.
That's just what they are. They are a selling club who will look to do that. So whether that's they prefer our offer, which allegedly we've offered something like a 20% sell-on clause. That's not certain, but I've been told that I'm hearing there's a sell-on clause in there on top of the money, or whether they'd rather have all of it up front. I personally think we've offered the better thing with the 20% sell-on, and that shows we're serious, because Liverpool don't really do sell-on clauses for big players. But so I see where they're coming from. But in terms of us, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because what frustrates me and frustrates many other Liverpool fans is that Chelsea were told there's a deadline here. 36 hours has gone by and now we're in this worldly won't-y situation where, as Liverpool fans, we're almost hoping Chelsea put the money on the table just so we can get this over with. But I think more will come in the coming days. Hopefully by the end of the week we know.
But do you think Liverpool should get a compensation for this? You know what I mean? For us to miss out on other players, you know what I mean? While we're wasting time with this guy, if the transfer doesn't go through, that is. Because we agreed
it's one of them.
We agreed that deal. I think that we agreed the terms as well. So we're still waiting. While we should be going for someone else, that's probably a better option. So Brighton must have gave us hope for us to wait. It's got to be a reason for us.
I mean, they've accepted the offer, haven't they? They have accepted the offer. So ultimately, if Caicedo turns around and goes, well, yeah, I want to go, he definitely comes then. And it's more so if the agency agrees as well. But it's Chelsea that are complicating the situation.
Exactly.
It's Chelsea that are complicating the situation. So I'm not annoyed at Brighton. I'm annoyed at Caicedo's agents. I'm annoyed at how Chelsea are going about it. Because by the looks of things, to me, they're pretending to have money that they don't have, and that's what I think's frustrating. I think I'd never mind compensation for us. I think who should be compensated is everyone who's being shafted by Chelsea. I think Lavia, I think Tyler Adams. I feel extremely sorry for them too.
Yeah, we need to discuss Tyler Adams as well. How can a player go down there for a transfer, not injured, nothing wrong with him, and all of a sudden they tell him to go back? You know what I mean, Baz? What is that all about, bro? How disrespectful is that, man?
Yeah.
He could have probably had other offers from somewhere else. You know what I mean? In the Premier League instead of Chelsea, and then the other offers he had probably now don't want him because he chose Chelsea over them. So they spoiled his transfer ambition as well.
Yeah, just quickly before I go into that one, I just want to pick up on what was just said just there with the Caicedo thing. Look, at the end of the day, some of these guys in the comments, they're absolutely bang on. You know what I mean? The fingers has to be pointed at, at the player and his manager in particular. Sorry, the agent. What I would say, is look, when we talk about deadlines and stuff like that, listen, money is king. Money is capital, Just because they set a deadline doesn't mean we have to do anything. You know what I mean? They want to sell the player. It's clear that, they're going to make some good money out of it. Brighton are not a bad club. They've accepted our bid. It's just you have to look at Caicedo in all of this, because really and truly they've accepted the bid, and if you want to bring the deadline into it, they have brought the deadline in. We got it about before the deadline. He needs to be traveling to Liverpool. He should have been there yesterday, but he hasn't, because in a previous comment that you had, thing on Twitter, it said something about that he wants to wait for Chelsea. So it's all about the player, not necessarily the club. And there's also another factor, and if it is something to do with the club, remember how we stole McAllister off them, 35 million quid.
And don't forget Oxlade-Chamberlain. He was on the way to them when we got them. Oh, he was already on the way to Chelsea, and all of a sudden Klopp had a word with him, and he came the other way.
There's that, but Chelsea just historically they're like that. Look at what they did with Mudryk and stuff like that with Arsenal. They're a team that just likes to buy players and just overinflate their wages and then make things difficult. They've done that over the years with Abramovich and stuff like that. So the thing is, all right, money does matter, yeah. And Brighton are, they're happy with our bid. It's Caicedo that wants to go to Chelsea. I really believe he wants to go to Chelsea. That why would you want to give someone time, Chelsea time, when you've clearly got like a brilliant club that is willing to take you? It's all about him and about his agent in all of this. And what I'll say with the Adams thing, look, this guy. I heard he's recovering from a serious injury, or either he's still injured or he's recovering from it, something like that. I don't necessarily believe he failed any medical. He went to have part 1. And I think, Chelsea are in that position. They paid for that. They could say, well, we don't need you because we might get Lavia in a minute, or we might get Caicedo in a minute. So they kind of like, they can't just buy players like they used to before. They have to, they have to kind of like balance things at the moment. Hence why they've sold a whole bunch of their players this summer, because they spent a lot of money. So whoever they need to get in, they need to make sure they're getting the right one. I just think they looked at Tyler Adams and thought that a change of mind, because they may potentially get Caicedo or Lavia, etc. Because Liverpool are dragging their heels with the Lavia deal. I mean, out of nowhere, this Caicedo thing came in. We identified him a little while ago, but obviously Chelsea were in line all summer for this guy, and then Liverpool just come in and put in the bid. So, we've got to look out. We've got to look at the player and his representatives doing this. It's not necessarily Brighton. So in terms of the compensation stuff you're talking about, that's not really going to happen, to be fair. I mean, I just think Liverpool are dragging their heels, to be fair. It's only like what a couple of days before the season starts. You're now trying to get in players. You had all this time beforehand. So you've got to look at Liverpool in this as well. They're not squeaky clean. You've got to look at Caicedo in this and his agents. And if his agent is like this and he's going to maintain with his agent, then I'd rather not have Caicedo here. I'd rather go and spend 111 million pounds on something better. But yeah, that's my view.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. The thing I'm looking at from the point of view of Chelsea, like, it could go another way as well, guys. Like, if you look at the actual day, the first day of this, when Liverpool bid and all that stuff, and everybody said Chelsea have got no chance. The meltdown from Chelsea fans on that day was ridiculous. To the point they had tears in their eyes. They can't believe the player is going towards Liverpool instead of them and all that stuff. But I've got a feeling the fan base of Chelsea have talked to Todd Bowley. I don't know if you guys know, Todd Bowley does go to spaces on Twitter. He does go there, and he does talk to the fans as well. So I'm sure majority of the Chelsea fans said to him, like, don't let them beat us. Get this player. And all of a sudden, the next day, he's on a plane coming to England to negotiate the deal. So Billy Hogan and him, having a battle between them, who's going to get this player in the next few hours. I'm hoping today. So I'm not losing hope, Harley. I swear, I think we're going to get him. I don't know what's telling me, but I honestly think we're going to get him.
I do.
There's nothing. Obviously, there's nothing coming out of the player, and then there's nothing coming out from his agent. A lot of people are just having hearsay here, listening to those people that report things, but that don't know a lot about it either. So how have you got faith about it? Still have faith about him coming to Liverpool Football Club? But hang on a second, bro. There's 415 people on the channel watching us here. Please, like I said, hit that subscription button. We're on the road to 2,000 now, and on this channel, we're about every Liverpool channel. We're gonna get everyone on board. We're gonna get everyone getting subscriptions as well. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all about us. It's not for selfish reasons. We're all supporting each other. And please, please, please hit that like button as well, because that
If
trends
you've joined me from retweets on Twitter, thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Don't just watch from me.
Yeah.
These guys are fantastic. Fozzie consistently hosting, doing incredible things. Make sure you keep your eye on it. And
As you can
subscribe.
see from the Brighton bubble, it says Moises Caicedo has slept on his decision and has decided he wants to join Liverpool, not Chelsea. So it's back and forth, as you guys can see. It's 1 minute them, next minute us. So what gives you that faith, Harley, that we still got a chance, brother?
For me, it's just a case of the longer we go without Chelsea putting the money on the table, the more I feel like they aren't going to put the money on. And the longer it takes for Chelsea to do it, if they do it, is more time for Klopp, for players who know him personally, who have connections to Liverpool, to turn around and be like, well, this is why you want to go to Liverpool. And we know how good Klopp is at convincing players and connecting with players. And I just can't see Pochettino being able to do the same thing. I really can't. So, and I just think it makes more sense. The only reason he'll have to go to Chelsea is money, and more so as well his agent, because his agent gets a big payout if he goes there. And I think if Chelsea can't put the money on, he'll go to Liverpool. And I hope to God that Jurgen Klopp turns around to him and tells him, you need to get rid of that leech of an agent, mate, because he is bad news. He'd be in a Liverpool top by now if it wasn't for him. And the thing is about that agent as well, is he's only got, I checked his list of clients, and there were only 2 names who I really look at and think, yeah, they're really good players.
Yeah.
Moises Caicedo himself and Hincapié from Leverkusen, if that's a familiar name to anybody.
Yeah.
2 fantastic players. They're the only 2 big clients that this man has. So he is going to try and leech every single penny he can out of this. And that's why I'm even more convinced it's the agent that's the problem.
100%.
From a footballing perspective, Caicedo, Baz, you mentioned Real Madrid, didn't you? And now that's his dream. I think he has a much better chance of going from Liverpool to Real Madrid than Real Madrid to Chelsea to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea, as we've said, they just ruin careers. The amount of players who've improved after leaving Chelsea or have dropped off after joining Chelsea is ridiculous. The players, managers, everything are just disposable to the fans, to the owners. So I just think he'd be making a silly decision. And you know what? If Chelsea do put the money on the table and they do end up with him, well, then that's just Todd Bowley being an idiot, because I read from several football finance experts this morning that they'll be having a point deduction staring them in the face. So that's more reason why I just can't see him going there. The longer this goes on, by the minute, I become ever so slightly more confident that he's going to come to Liverpool. I have just seen something on Twitter, the biggest load of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Some shammy 2K fella has just tweeted, I just took a pic with him on my mother's life. He's on his way to Chelsea right now. Apparently seen him in a cab. Yeah, because £111 million Moises Caicedo, who's about to be on about 200 grand a week, is going to share a cab with Shammy 2K off Twitter. Stop chatting, Brown, lad. Stop chatting, utter, absolute Brown.
Yeah.
Looks nothing like Caicedo. It's some random kid at a tech police from London.
Obviously, over here we read people's comments, innit? There's no bid they want us to pull out. I know Chelsea want us to pull out, right? They can't go over the bid we made. Go on, Baz. But I'm going to go in the comments as well, guys. So if I don't read your comment, I'll bring it up and, I'll let people look at it and then we'll discuss it from there. You know what I mean? I can't keep reading every comment because there's so many. But thank you. Honestly, thank you. There's 632 people watching us. We've got an hour show here. Bring your comments up. Please hit that subscription button. Please subscribe to Baz. He's got his own channel. I already put it on there and he's got it on his actual screen as well. So please go and subscribe to him. He needs this. Everybody needs this as well. I'll put people's actual channels on here as well. So Baz, go ahead, brother. I can't hear you, bro. I can't hear
Yeah,
you. One sec.
I can't see them, mate.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
on.
No, I was scratching my tash. I didn't have my hands up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries, bro. No worries, no worries. So as everybody can see from anything like Liverpool, Moises Caicedo has slept on his decision and has decided he wants to join Liverpool, not Chelsea. So there's a lot of actual news outlets saying that.
Interestingly enough, this Alves Sport guy,
Mm.
right? He's been very. He's got himself a lot of attention on Twitter. On the surface of things, he doesn't seem like a very legitimate source. And let me get you his name up now. Alberto Uricao, right? He said some bunch of mad shite in Spanish, which roughly translates to Moises Caicedo will not sign for Chelsea. Brighton have cut the hotline with Todd Bowley. All talking, no cash, says Brighton boss Tony Bloom. He will sign for #Liverpool, which is the only club with an accepted offer. It's finished. Now,
Yes!
Now, don't get too excited, but do. Right?
I'm joking, bro.
He's got about 2,000 followers.
Yeah.
I said to him word for word on Twitter last night, Alberto, lad, you're the spitting image of that bird off the chase if you lost a few stone, and I've never heard it in my life. But apparently, this fella got Diaz, right, in January 2022.
Yeah.
Alberto, son, I am trusting you with everything. Be big scalp ball sacks telling me you're telling the truth. So, and upon doing the digging, yeah, he did get Luis Diaz right. So maybe, just maybe, this guy does have connections with representatives.
Yeah.
I'm probably me getting my hopes up. But yeah, that was the original thing. Then he went on to quote tweet it, and that was for a minute in Liverpool where you've just pulled it from. He puts in English, Caicedo has slept on his decision. Agent communicate decision after breakfast. He will join Liverpool. And look, I'm trusting him with my life. Alberto Uricao, my sweet, sweet prince. You might look like a skinny tan Hegarty, but I'm putting all my faith in you, son. Please, please, please have this night. Please don't be winding me up.
Baz, have you got anything to say about that? Like before we move on to the next subject, because if we don't go for this transfer, we need someone out there. So I want you guys to give me your opinion. Like if the Caicedo doesn't come to Liverpool, who will go for next? But I can't say that name, so I'll just call him A. A says Liverpool correct in standing their ground, 100% right. You know, like we can't be that team that everybody walks all over. We're Liverpool Football Club. We keep saying our name is Liverpool Football Club, but we don't act like Liverpool Football Club majority of the time, and we let these people walk all over us. I think it's enough. Now it's enough. No more. Be the bad guy. Be the person that's, gets any player they want. Enough of this nonsense. I know. Now we know FSG's got the money. They can do it. There's no more excuses now. 836 people are watching us. Hit that subscription button. Hit that like button and subscribe to every Liverpool channel that I always put up as well. Baz has got his own channel. Please go and subscribe to him. Anything, Baz, before we move on from Caicedo?
I did.
But I want to ask you this, Baz. Like, have you got any hope? I know you said you gave up, but is there any little bit that thinks like, there's a reason Liverpool are still in it? Maybe there's still like something going to happen.
There's always hope. There's always hope at the end of the day. I just like to be realistic. I mean, as you know me, for many years, when it comes to speculation and stuff like that, until the guy's holding the shirt saying that, he's got that number 30 or whatever he's going to get, then, I'm just realist in it. But when I sometimes I have to look at players' attitudes as well in it. But I know what we're talking about. It might not be the player's attitude. He might have slept over things and realized, rah. But look, at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But we have to look at our players, our owners as well in this as well. And I don't want to go too much into FSG.
No, enough. Yeah.
But I will say, at the end of the day, if we don't get this player, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? We can go and get another player, so long as these owners, that do actually invest. I see a comment here saying that if we don't get him, we can get someone like Andre Thuram, Lavia, and Inacio.
Kone as well.
For around that sort of price. Now, if you brought all these players in, I'd rather them than Caicedo.
Well, for that price, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so look, ideally, I do want Caicedo. Don't get me twisted. I think he's an exceptional player and stuff like that. But I'm just being real. The likelihood of Liverpool getting him, I think his heart is at Chelsea. And if his heart is at Chelsea, let him go. You know what I mean? Let him go. And so long as we invest in that squad, then I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? That's the most important thing. Liverpool is more important than any single player. And Caicedo at this moment is any single player for me. But an exceptional player. Don't get me twisted. But yeah, what will be in it. So it's just one of those eyes and popcorn ones, and just see what happens in it, really. And maybe he doesn't sign. Sorry, just before we go,
Yeah,
maybe he's waiting for the Sunday game to see which team's better.
Listen, we're gonna batter them. We're gonna batter them.
I can just imagine now Pochettino and Klopp doing a WWE contract signing, win against Moises Caicedo on a pole match. Here we
Listen,
go.
you know Liverpool are that kind of club that investigates thoroughly on people. So I hope they get something on Todd Bowley. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for my owners. You know what I mean? If they win this transfer, you know a lot of people are gonna forgive them. You know what I mean? So I might be the one as well. You know?
I'm definitely.
No, you stand by your ground, Baz. We know.
Talk for yourself, mate. I'm getting John Eddie's face tattooed on my shoulder. Nah, I don't want to rest.
Eddie says they have 100 million, so 111 million. Get Lavia, who wants to play for Liverpool. Yeah, that's what I've heard today, guys. That's what I heard today. And 2 more players with that money. It's not the sexy move, but it's a solid move. 100% right, Eddie. If we don't get this transfer, I'm with you, bro. I'm with that train. I've heard Lavia. He's desperate to join Liverpool. He knows Chelsea is that type of club that's probably gonna get him and get him out on loan afterwards. If you know what I mean. That's what they're gonna do. Because they can't have Caicedo and Lavia in the same team, can they? They're 2 similar players. So you're wasting someone's talent. And that's what I think. I even think they might even agree a deal if it works out their way. Lavia going the other way, if you know what I mean, Harley. He's like him going to Brighton on loan, and then probably give Conor Gallagher or someone like that as a buy as well. So yeah, but Harley, if we don't go for, obviously if this doesn't work out, give me a solid player that you think, or a few players obviously for that transfer that we got that can replace him and be beneficial for us to challenge in the league. By the way, one second. By the way, there's 900 people, Baz.
Wow.
Come on, bro. What are you going to tell them, Baz? You know what I mean?
Guys, you guys need to smash up that like, and big up to all the haters in the comment as well, man. Come on, man.
Yes.
The like, subscribe, do all that great stuff, man. If you subscribe, then you can hear a lot of us talking rubbish, innit?
We're back every day, man. We're back night, day, anytime. We'll be here. Go on, Harley. Give me a solid player, bro.
So, are you talking in terms of defensive midfielder?
Defensive midfielder, like, you know, we've got 111 million to spend. If this doesn't work out, give me players that we can get through the door.
For me,
that's you know, they're going to be beneficial for our football club.
For me, what we should bring in at that point is I'm looking at 2 or 3 players with the Caicedo money possibly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Andre. Look, we've been linked with him. We clearly like him. Yeah. So why not trigger the release clause? It's 35-ish million. I'd consider it because we like a good release clause lately, don't we? So maybe that can be it. Another release clause, Inacio, 40 million. And that sorts out an extra centre half. He's left-footed, which is what everyone's wanting. So he can play the Robertson position. He can play the Virgil position. But then in terms of that defensive midfielder, I would probably have a look at either Zubamendi from Real Sociedad or Morten Hultman. Again, I hope I've not butchered that. If there's any Danish people watching, I can only apologise. But I really like the look of him. Yeah. But for the third option, Mohamed Kamara. Mohamed Kamara is extremely similar in the numbers that the likes of Caicedo and Lavia. And I know it's a lot more complicated than the metrics that are probably publicly available to us. But I think it speaks a lot that he's in the same bracket as Caicedo, Lavia, Tchouameni, and a lot of names like that. I do really rate Mohamed Kamara. So yeah, they'd just be a few names. They'd probably be the most high-profile names that we've not been linked with, if I consider. I would say Manuel Locatelli, but I'm not sure if Juventus would make him available. But there's options, don't get me wrong.
There's Barella still. I mean, 60 million for Barella, guys.
Honestly, with Barella, the only issue is that he's not a defensive midfielder, but he is unbelievable. That guy is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, if we don't get him, I trust our recruitment team to do it, man. I think we have one of the best recruitment teams in all of world football in terms of identifying and bringing in players and getting good deals. People will turn around and say, like, we should be getting them done more often. And you know what? I can see where people are coming from with that. But if we don't get Caicedo and we don't get Lavia, I really don't think I'm panicking that much. Obviously, I'll be gutted to not get either because they're the two main targets that we want.
I think we're going to get Caicedo. I've got faith, guys. Never give up. That's what
I'm almost certain we'll get one or the other, mate.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll get Caicedo, and I reckon if we don't, we get Lavia. So,
yeah.
But
What about you,
I think-
Baz? Go on, carry on, Harley. Carry on. Go on.
No, I'm just saying. I think both would be excellent for us. So
Yeah.
I'm not gutted if we miss out on one and get the other.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Baz? Is there any like players? We've got 111 million to spend, bro. Like, is there anyone that we could get 2 or 3 players with that, innit? So why not? Why not, bro?
We can do. Look, I don't want to be funny here on all this. Right? We've seen that they've got 111 million pounds. Yeah, but I don't know if this is a little tactic by FSG as well, bidding and showing that they have actually tried.
Yeah.
They've actually tried to buy someone at a real record bid. It's like a record bid.
Can I ask you a question, Baz? In regards to before we're still talking about Caicedo, but we're talking about other transfers. Can it be like Chelsea have lost this transfer, and because the way the meltdown happened with Chelsea fans and all that stuff, and Todd Bowley's all that, do you think in a way they want to save face? You know what I mean? Probably he is going to Liverpool, and the Americans, don't forget, at the end of the day, they might be like talking to each other. Let's just prolong this for a bit, make sure like Chelsea's fighting it out, but he's still going to be going the other way. Can that happen, you think, like something like that? Or am I overthinking it?
In football, anything can happen, man. You've seen it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I just think Chelsea, that the way they are. Look, you know what? They bought a whole bunch of players. They bought a whole bunch of players over the last couple of. Even if they get a transfer ban for breaching rules and stuff like that, they can pay that off. But they've got the player. That's the facts. You know what I mean? There's so many dirty black art stuff that people can do at at clubs and stuff like that. And I think Chelsea are one of them. But then at the same time, when I look at our owners, our owners are. They're not so squeaky clean themselves. Before this, everyone's in doom and gloom because FSG are not giving Klopp this and not that. But what I'm thinking as well is like how they might be saying, okay, well, we'll bid 111, show the Liverpool fans that we are, we do have money and we do at the club. But they already know they lost this because he's going to Chelsea because they got, intel that he wants to play for Chelsea. So then they were like, well, we did try. And that is what my concern is about all of this.
It could go either way. Yeah, you're right.
It could go either way. Yeah. So I just think he will go to Chelsea. If he comes to Liverpool, trust me, I'll be screaming down. I'll be happy. But we've got to look at this guy's attitude again. I mean, I know I'm bringing this back.
We don't know though. It's just speculation.
We don't know, but
unless we hear it from him. Yeah.
No, it's true. But you know something? At the end of the day, there's a lot more for Chelsea than there's a lot more for Liverpool. You know what I mean? Because we were linked with him early on in the transfer window. But
a year ago. Yeah,
but no, there wasn't really anything in this. This guy, he is wishy-washy. Maybe it is his agent because Arsenal wanted him. You know what I mean? And he made some noise about that. Liverpool want him. He's making some noise about that. Chelsea want him. He's making some noise about that. But all before he wanted to go to Real Madrid. You know what I mean? So I don't even know. I want players, like I said, I only want players that are going to play. And I don't care if they're exotic names or crap names, Like one of the players that that you're talking about, well, who should we get in? I don't mind Vega, the Celta Vigo midfielder. I think he's a brilliant player. And he's going to cost cheaper. And we can get a defender. I want what's important for our team, which is basically depth and a chance to challenge. There's no guarantees we get Caicedo, and Caicedo's not really wanting to be there. Spend 111 million pounds on him. And he's just not the player. And then we will be really seriously looking at ourselves.
Yeah, 100% right, bro. Guys, 833 people are watching this. Please hit that subscription button. Please hit that like button. It doesn't hurt. It's free. Everything is free. You know what I mean? And get us to that 2,000. We're on the road to 2,000 now. We've reached 1,000. Next is 2,000. Please subscribe to everyone as well. All right, guys. Before we go, how do you think the game's going to go tomorrow, Has? Are we going to batter them? You know what I mean? Teach them a lesson and, show Caicedo what he's missing out on? Or are they going to beat us?
Well, Stamford Bridge is always a tricky place to visit, isn't it? No matter, particularly for Liverpool. Honestly, it's been a good few years since we got a win there. But I feel like now is a better time than ever to play Chelsea. I feel as though they're a mess on and off the pitch. Everyone's flapping it that we don't have a defensive midfielder, understandably so, but they don't have one either.
Yeah.
So And look, if I'm being very honest, I struggle to think of one Chelsea player who would get into our starting 11 now that we've started to sort this midfield out. I really
100%.
would. So I feel as though we will go there, and I do think we're gonna get 3 points. It'll be a hard-fought match. Obviously, I'm not expecting to turn up and absolutely steamroll them from minute 1 to minute 90.
Yeah.
But I can see us putting a few past them. We've played a lot of 0-0 games against them. It was 0-0 twice last season. Both of the cup finals the season before were 0-0. So it's kind of one of them where if you're gonna judge based off the past, you're almost expecting another 0-0 or one team to come out with a 1-0. But I can see it genuinely being a 3-2 game. The lack of defensive midfielders, I can just see it being all over the place. I think we're gonna see a lot of shades of like 2017, 2018 Klopp, and I quite like the thought of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though it might give me about 7 heart attacks during the match. But no, I do think we are going to get 3 points, and I can see it being a high-scoring game. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think we'll put a good few past them as well. But that's just my opinion. I think our attack's fantastic. I think our attacking midfield options are fantastic. The all-around creativity is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I don't really look at anyone in their team and think, yeah, he's a massive goal threat. Like, people are banging on about that, Nick Jackson. But for me, their biggest goal threat's Nkunku, and the fact that he's out is poor.
I know. Score prediction, bro. Score prediction.
I'm going to say 4-2 for Liverpool.
Wow. Baz, go for it, bro. What's your take on the game tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I did a show with a Chelsea, H Talks Chelsea. Big up to him as well. Brilliant guy. Look, what I think, we both have issues in the same. We're both going for the same players, so clearly we got a hole in the positions that we want to fill. So Chelsea on the other hand, they have a new manager with new ideas. When we played Pochettino's teams before, they've always been high scoring and stuff like that. And I think this one will be high scoring as well in the start. It's a hard game at the Bridge, you know what I mean? And the best time to play any team is the start of the season because you don't know what to expect from them. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a very interesting one. Our forwards, I love the way our forwards have been over the preseason. I think they've been firing. And I think, in my opinion, we've got, the league's best forward line for sure. However, we're building in our midfield. And our defense, we've got the best goalkeeper in the world. Our defense is still a little bit sussy, so I do still think we are going to concede goals in this game or throughout the season for sure. But talking about this game, I have a feeling that both teams are not going to want to lose this one, especially Liverpool. I see it being a 2-2. The reason why I see it being a 2-2, we will concede goals, but we will score goals. And I just think they do have certain players that can hurt us. Like if we're going to play that inverted role and Trent is not on his game, they'll just play it to Mudryk, and Mudryk is just going to have bags of pace. That's just going to potentially, we may see some issues like we did last year, but at the same time, we've got a little bit more legs in midfield. So in this game, I'm going to say 2-2. We're not going to lose it. I have a feeling we'll concede goals, but we will score goals.
100%, bro. Yes, people, as you can see down below, please go and subscribe to Uncle Roz. He's on the way to 1,000. He's almost there. Get him there, please. There's no one like this guy. I'm telling you right now. Brilliant person. Helps everyone as well. So please go and subscribe to him. Hang on. There was a comment I saw. Hang on. Let me just go on there before I state my piece. There you go. Have Chelsea done a bid yet? Also, deadline was 22 minutes ago. I haven't heard anything. Me and Haz are refreshing. We're looking if there's nothing coming up.
Can I just quickly
what I have noticed though is Fabrizio Romano, considering how much he was doing that all day yesterday, constantly tweeting the same thing, reworded about 742 different times. He hasn't said a word today. So what that might tell me, and I'm not trying to get people's hopes up here, but what that might tell me is that his gobshite agent might have actually turned around and started doing some legitimate work rather than constantly being on the blower to Fabrizio saying, listen, this is what's happening. So to me, that like implies that we are going to find out one way or another soon. And because we're not hearing anything about Chelsea, if they are bid, I'd like to see where the source is on that, because I've not seen a word
Not
about
one.
that on half the libel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the longer it goes on, the more likely we are to be able to get what you call him, Caicedo. Because
Okay.
as I say, it's as simple as, if Chelsea can't put a bid in, he's got nowhere else to go, and I think he'll quickly learn that he's made the right decision. So.
And can I just say that the deadline thing? Listen, guys, if anyone's looking at deadlines, yeah, listen, clubs want money. It's as simple as that, yeah. And
it's not legally binding. It's not legally binding.
The transfer window hasn't ended, so at the end of the day, just because the deadline's missed, yeah, doesn't necessarily mean that it's done. That's it. The players have all the powers in this game nowadays. It's not necessarily the club or the agents or the manager or anything like that. He's a great player, all right, and his manager's already said I've forgotten about him already.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? If he wants to go, he's gonna go. Whether it's like in 2 weeks' time or just before the transfer window ends, there is no deadline. To be fair, it's just like if someone like Real Madrid offered like 250 million, but it was like months later, they're gonna take that, bruv. There ain't gonna be no deadlines. So long as they can get players in, they're going to probably go and get Adams now. I think they're probably going to get Tyler Adams anyway, because you're going to need someone to replace him at some point anyway. So they'll probably go and buy a player for a decent price here, 20 million, like for example, Adams, because of his thing, and then they'll be prepared to watch him go. So yeah.
I agree with you 100%, brother. I agree with you 100%. In my opinion, we're more organized than Chelsea, obviously, in development terms. We know where our players are going to be playing, instead of them not being all pear-shapes and all that stuff. There's 732 people watching. People, please hit that subscription button and like button. I appreciate it immensely if you do that for us. And please go and subscribe to Baz, LVFC TV. He's got his own channel. He's what are you on the road to, Baz? How many subscribers, brother?
171 at the moment, but I've not been doing any streams because I've been moving and having ACL surgery, so I haven't really been doing much. But there will be some shows coming up soon. Just if you subscribe, just hit the notification button and you'll see when I go live. And the likelihood is I probably will do something just before next week, before I have my surgery.
Good luck to that, brother. Good luck to that. Just keep us updated as always, isn't it? That's what we're here for. We're your mates. Yes, people. In my opinion, we're going to win probably by 3 goals to 1. I think we're more organized than Chelsea. Chelsea are all over the place, like these two gentlemen alerted to. As for Caicedo, I'm not giving up hope. I hope someone gets through to him and say to him, if you want to develop as a player, Liverpool is your destination. If you want to become a world beater, Liverpool is your destination, because we've got the CV that shows we can do that for players. If you want to go and chase money and your career goes halas, that's the way. Go to Chelsea. You know what I mean? If you want money, go to Chelsea. If you want to be a footballer that everybody respects and all that stuff, and have money at the same time, come to Liverpool Football Club. Chelsea is not going to offer you that. People are truly apologize on the chat because there's so many. Next time, I'm going to make the guest in charge of the chat as well, so they could bring up the chat and we could read it through. So I apologize for that. Like, this channel is getting bigger and you guys are helping us, and I really, really appreciate that. Please go and do the same for every other Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we're all rivals and we're football fans first. We'll never forget that as well. So yeah. So people, we're out of here. Subscribe. See you soon. Take care, everybody.